Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you share and share and share. Today we are dedicating this show to a very symbolic somebody. A very somebody who is an activist. He's a Muslim scholar. Is somebody who has sacrificed in the struggle for the liberation of the people of Southern Cameroon. This show today is to tell you how people are incarcerated. Okay, they are now in incarceration, incommunicado. It means that they are being illegally detained by the Cameroon military junta, the dictator of Yaoundé, Paul Biya. The regime has no mercy. These are people who commit no crime. They are being detained for their right for self-determination. Abdulkarim is a Muslim scholar. Comrade Abdulkarim officially reject the Cameroon judicial system and said that he won't be part of any process, any judicial process, and he rejected the civil law system, which is the French Cameroon system, that they arrest people in Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia, and take to Yaoundé, Douala to go and be tried there. When we have our own common law system where they have to respect that, right? Because the military tribunal, if you can see most of the details of Ambazonian that have been arrested in Bamenda or Kumba or Limbe, taken to that areas in Yaoundé, they don't know the legal system. I've never seen where they will beat lawyers, they will molest lawyers, they will mistreat lawyers like they do in the civil law system. The military, the police don't respect the lawyers. You saw Barrister Tamfu, what Barrister Tamfu went through last time in Douala, going to defend his client. He was molested, he was tortured, then instead giving extra charges. I don't know how the legal system worked there, but the system is so corrupt that Abdulkarim had the right to reject that system. You have the right to reject the system. If you think that the system will bias, you have the right to reject it. It's your due right to say, no, I don't want to be tried in this system, that my lawyers are all common law lawyers. They had no training with the civil law system. Okay, and we saw that Abdulkarim's lawyers agreed to that, and they said, okay, if it's his legal obligation, okay, And I hope that he's going to stand with that, because all this judicial system where they prolong the system, they arrest you today, you spend 3 years awaiting trial. You have not been convicted. You are still awaiting trial. They cannot release you. There is no bail system. That's the difference between the common law system and the civil law system. The civil law system, if they arrest you, it means that you are already guilty. If they arrest you, you are guilty. There's no remedy. If you see somebody in chains, in handcuffs, they say, oh, that person has stolen, that person is a criminal. That person has not gone through trial. The legal proceedings of anything allow each individual to go through legal proceedings until proven guilty. You cannot just arrest somebody. You start molesting that person, mistreat the person go through torture, hunger, and all kinds of prolonged detention, illegal detention. And the worst is incommunicado. Incommunicado means that they don't want you to even have access to anything. Your family, no communication with your family members, no communication with your lawyers, no communication. People want to come and visit you, they will refuse. When it's your right as a person that has been arrested, you still have all those rights until you are proven guilty, you are innocent. Okay? In La Republic, anybody that they arrest, the military are already the judges. The police are already the judges. They judge you, they find you guilty or not guilty. I don't know when the police or the military became lawyers. I don't know when the military, they use the military court. They use military courts. It's a military junta, it's a military government. You cannot arrest civilians. To the best of my knowledge, I know military court is for uniform men. It's for men in uniform. That's what I know, except otherwise. But I don't know why civilians. Abdulkarim has never been to the military. Abdulkarim has never been a lawyer. He has never been a police officer. He has never been a uniform person. How do you, what justifies you taking him now to a military court? And that is the same thing that every single Southern Cameroonian have gone through. Every single Southern Cameroonian. And they expect the Norwegian government to send Dr. Troyaba to Yaoundé to go and face the same military junta. The inhumane treatment, the polarized, corrupt legal system of that country called Cameroon. If Norway wants to have justice, they should understand that justice goes both ways. You cannot arrest an Ambazonian and judge him without getting facts on both sides. Yes, I know people have those arguments, but you cannot say that Ayabacho is guilty when he has not gone through the court proceedings. So he should be granted bail. I was thinking that Norway has a common law system where they can release somebody, they grant bails, right? I did not know that Norway has that kind of system that is not common law system. Because I know if they arrest somebody, you have a right for bail. If your bail is, for example, your bail can be $5,000, you pay the $5,000, or you look for a bondsman and pay the money. I do arrest every day. I arrest people every day as a law enforcement officer. We do arrest every day. We know the procedure of taking bail bonds. That is a common law system. You have the right to bail. You have the right to look for a bondsman. If they give you a bond of, for example, $1,000, you have the right to look for bondsmen and pay 10% of that amount, and you're out of the, okay, they will give you a court date. That's all. You go to court, you are out of that prison. You should not stay in detention when you are not found guilty. That is what Abdulkarim is going through. That is what Dr. Chwayaba is going through. That is what the Naira 10 are going through. But we understand that this is the bias system that La Republic prefer to govern their own people. All if somebody is not found guilty, you cannot treat that person as a criminal. You cannot treat that person as a criminal. If you do that for example, if you do that in America, they will sue that agency, and that agency will pay use some of money. Yeah, families sue the agency. Can Abdulkarim sue La Republic of Cameroon? Who is going to take the case? The way they mistreat lawyers, the way lawyers disappear, the way journalists disappear, they kill without remorse. When somebody like Martinez Zogo was killed, his body mutilated. Somebody like the Wazizi was killed. That's an Ambazonian. His body was disappeared. Nobody saw him even. Till today, the family of Wazizi have not been seen. The government of Cameroon is the worst government you can think of. They treat the Southern Cameroonians differently, because if you see what is going on between Atanenji and that woman, Madame Alice Com, you understand that the treatment is different. The woman that is legal or is NGO has been banned by Atanenji, has been called to go and answer some questions. She refused to go. She said she is traveling abroad, and when she comes back, she will find time and go and see what they're inviting her for. They convocated her. Think of the treatment that lawyer Tamfu went through in Douala. Beaten, molested, mistreated, tortured, but yet they are giving him 5 charges that he is the one that molested the gendarmerie officers. That is how biased the system is against the people of Southern Cameroon. Then you want our people to leave Boya, leave Bamenda, leave Kumba, leave Kumbo, to go and be tried in Yaoundé when you know the system is corrupt. For many years, this legal debate between the legal system of Cameroon and the Federal Republic of Ambazonia is very rooted in that historical, social, and legal factors. We all know, because these are two systems, and when you mix them up, you mix the legal system and you don't even know what is going on. The way that every Southern Cameroonian that have been arrested in Douala, or in Boya, Kumba, Bamenda, they have been taken to military tribunals. Then you ask yourself, what are the civil tribunals? So the military tribunals is there for the people of Southern Cameroon, Ambazonians. Then the civil law courts are for the La Republic people. Because immediately they arrest any Southern Cameroonian, they send them to SED. Even the one that called Moja was taken back to SED. The military torture chamber is called SED. That's where they go and torture people. They maim you like they did even to Longe and other people who have passed through. Dr. Akwanga passed through that torture chamber, SED. We are saying that the legal system, the La Republic has to respect their legal system. They cannot mix up their legal system. And that's why our people get mixed up. Because we know that when you commit a crime, they arrest you. They will take you they can take you to the police, right? And they'll say, to leave, you have this, the bail. They'll call the bail bondsman, or you have money to pay cash. You have cash bonds. You have bail. You have the personal recognizance bonds that's given by the court. You have different types of bonds that you can use. The court will grant you different types of bonds. That is why you'll be released. Then they'll give you a court date. Okay, it's only when you don't attend that court date that's when they'll grant you a warrant. That warrant of arrest now is a warrant that they'll use now to come and arrest you for not attending that court case. Okay, that's how they do. You cannot put somebody in incommunicado locked up when the person has not been found guilty. Okay, there is no evidence that this person committed a crime. You just arrest the person, locked up incommunicado. No access to their family members, no access to the legal system, no access to any lawyers, no access to means of communication like telephone. You deprive the person of all these amenities that you have not even, the person is not even yet found guilty. We want to bring this because a lot of our people are going through this. The case of Abdulkarim exemplifies the preference for common law. Okay, because we understand this is not this is Anglo-Saxons. This is the people of Southern Cameroon. This is the system that the British installed in Southern Cameroon. Okay, and when you want now us to be mixed up in this system, Abdulkarim has a right to refuse that system because it is not a system that he think that it will be okay. It will be, let's say fair, because he have seen the other people like Seseko Ayok and the Naira tender have been charged. They have given life imprisonment. What do you think will be his charge? Okay. Yeah, the Cameroon government said that because of national security, that's how the dictators do, the dictatorial system. Okay. One, there's no human right. Okay. There's no human right. There's a lot of human right violations. You saw when Cameroon has been dragged to the United Nations on torture. Okay. The military tribunals do not afford civilians the rights as those tried in civil courts. Okay, there's no unfair trial. There's no fair trial where they will carry you when the military arrest you. They start beating you from that moment they arrest you. That's how bad it is. They start beating you from there because we have heard all kinds of reports. We have seen how our people have gone through torture, arbitrary detention, lack of access to their legal representation. Is the same thing that go to everybody that go to the military SED. It's a torture. That's a torture chamber. They send you there for torture. There's no argument about that. It's different from a civil court, right? The court, when you go to any normal court, you go there and they will treat you as a civilian, but there they treat you as a terrorist. They treat you as a terrorist. You see political bias. Oh, you are Ambazonian. You are this. You are this. So, if you are an Ambazonian, you are automatically an enemy, or you're found guilty automatically. Okay. And that is the perception that our people have gotten along the years, that Abdulkarim rejected that he does not want to be tried in the military court, okay, or tried in Yaoundé. That we have court in Southern Cameroon. Why do you arrest people in Yaoundé or Bamenda and take him to Yaoundé? The corrupt nature of these courts, you have bribery, favoritism. All this undermine the legitimacy of these trial and judicial decisions. You know that if Abdulkarim go to that court, the judge will give him another life sentence. like they have given to Ayok Tabe. Even though if the military court was not biased, the Nigerian High Court passed a judgment that all the Naira 10s will be sent back to Nigeria, that they were illegally arrested in Nigeria. International law does not allow you to go and arrest somebody without due process. Okay? That is it. We cannot have a military court that the language there is French. The whole thing there is corrupt. The judicial system is run by France, because they have the same system. Yeah, think of it. If we have courts, so now what are our courts doing? We have high courts in Kumba, we have high courts in Bamenda, we have high courts in Limbe, we have high courts in different places in different divisions or different LGAs and counties. What are those courts doing in southern Cameroon? If the Cameroon government does not allow our people to be tried in their courts. Abdulkarim was arrested in Bamenda. Why was Abdulkarim taken to Yaoundé? Why? That is it, because you cannot look at what is going on. The system that is corrupt, you know that there will be no fair trial. There will be no fair trial. You want him to go and accept that, okay, try me here in Yaoundé, when you know that military tribunal has been tried, but they created a military tribunal to try dissent of the regime. So you know, if you pass through that court, you are automatically guilty. There is no way you can go to that court and you are not found guilty. That trial was set up by Biya, the dictatorial regime set up that military tribunal to try not military, but civilians who are political dissent. That's why you go to military court, you find the Ambazonians being tried there. Ambazonians. But this is a lesson, because some of our people don't understand what our people are going through. They don't understand. Because if you look at it critically, Abdulkarim was arrested in Bamenda. But that is what our people are going through. Abdulkarim is just one of those many examples of what our people have been going through in the La Republic legal system. Okay, let's just look at some of the outings of Abdulkarim, who has been so outspoken in this struggle. And number one thing that has put him in trouble is his outspokenness, is his activism. Okay, the Muslim scholar has been very active within the ranks of the Ambazonian struggle, and he has tooth and nail for the people of Southern Cameroon. When he was arrested, Dr. Cho Ayaba said 2 years gone, he was kidnapped, tortured. His crimes, he spoke, defended, and advocated for justice for Ambazonia. He was denied his liberty, his dignity, trampled upon, robbed of his family, and enslaved by robbers. Every day, him and thousands of Ambazonians spend time in jail. This is what Dr. Cho was speaking when 2 years after Abdulkarim's arrest. But now Dr. Cho is also arrested. Okay? What did Abdulkarim write? Abdulkarim wrote, Dr. Cho's advocacy for Southern Cameroon, albeit being behind Oslo's bars, will not only greatly benefit his people, but may also be what both the occupied people of Southern Cameroon and the oppressed people of La République du Cameroon required to be free from Yaoundé's tyrannical kleptocracy. Abdulkarim. This is what Abdulkarim wrote when Dr. Cho was arrested. But I don't want to go into this for now about the arrest of Dr. Cho, who is also illegally being arrested, detained in Norway. We'll talk about that later. But let's focus on Abdulkarim. Abdulkarim has been very forefront. Remember, there are certain train of events that happened towards Abdulkarim's arrest. When he was member of the ACT team, this ACT team was part of the different of the members that the interim government and the other delegation sent to go and represent the people of Southern Cameroon during the negotiation process in Switzerland. Abdulkarim was member. He was there going to Switzerland, going to all the meetings, trying to help in that negotiation process. The Swiss government sent the HD. HD is a renowned NGO, international NGO, renowned for its negotiation that represent the Swiss government. So HD was the one training all these leaders. Okay, Abdulkarim was one of them. He was forefront, always outspoken, always sending tweets and so on and so forth. The government wasn't happy. The government of Cameroon was not happy with that. We knew that when Abdulkarim go to Cameroon, he will be arrested. We told him that you are going to Cameroon is not at the right time. He said no, he has been going there and coming back, going there and coming back. You know, the government of Cameroon always give you that leeway, think that, oh, they don't have time for you, but they are looking for the right time to arrest you. Remember the first time he was arrested, there was some international intervention and they released him. So this is the second time that he was being arrested. The lesson that we learned from Seseko Ayok Tabe, we told Abdulkarim about that. Abdulkarim did not listen, just like Seseko did not listen. That you don't trust these African governments. These African governments, they will do everything to help their brother African presidents if there's an issue of an arrest. Look at the Nigerian activists. Kanu was arrested in Kenya by the Kenyan government. And you ask yourself, why should a government, another African government, arrest another person that I don't know if they have extradition decree that is signed together or they have any pact. But there are times that you have to, you don't just arrest anyone, okay, because another government say arrest this person. The same mistake that Nigerian government did is the same mistake that Kenyan government did. But we are talking, if we want to talk about Ayaba today, we are asking the Norway government not to make that mistake that other countries did. You don't arrest somebody who did not commit crime in Norway, okay? Then you don't grant the person bail. You ask yourself, what crime? Okay, for example, America will arrest people who commit crime under American law. It's not Cameroon will come and tell America that, hey, arrest this person, arrest this person. that has nothing to do with America. Because America will look at their law. Has this person broken American law? No. Has this person done this to America, citizen, American law? No. Then why should we arrest him? That is why La République du Cameroon cannot bring that corrupt system in America. American government is not that dumb to listen to La République people to just come and arrest people here and think that is, the corrupt system that Cameroon has. They are spreading their corrupt system to other countries. And we are talking to Norway. If Ayabacho's crime is as grievous as Paul Biya's crime, then they should arrest Paul Biya. If they want justice, they should come with clean hands. They should not look at justice on one-sided justice. You cannot arrest Ayabacho for a crime that is committed in Cameroon, and you don't want to bring the two parties together. Norway can act like Canada or Switzerland, who were there to rally the leaders, look for a peaceful settlement of both sides. But you cannot start arresting people. How do you solve the problem? That's a mistake that Norway is doing. And La République du Cameroon, they have tried to go and bribe Norway to send Ayabacho to Cameroon. But the difficulty is that Ayabacho is not a German, is not a Cameroon citizen. He's Ambazonian. And he's a German citizen and a Norwegian citizen. Let's see if the German government will allow their citizens to be going to try in a barbaric system. It will not work, because we know what the past trials have been, right? The past trials, we have seen how reckless it is. They don't try you, they only send you there to just pass some time, then they send you now to the other side to go and suffer. I want to read Abdulkarim's letter to the victory of President Donald Trump. And this letter was very, very powerful, that he sent it to Donald Trump to help the people of Southern Cameroon to end the war. Okay, it was a very nice letter, and we really appreciate all his letters. Even though incarcerated, he's sending all kinds of messages out there to the people of Southern Cameroon, sending letters out there to the people to stay resilient. Okay, the letter reads, this was on the August 11, 2024. Dear President-elect Trump, congratulations once again on your tremendous historic victory. As you prepare to take office, your legacy should be at the forefront of your mind, as the world will remember you for your actions and inactions, whether it is for war or peace, justice or injustice, development or destruction, humanity or vanity. The next 4 years are your final years as the President of the United States. We have seen you in that office before, and I'm encouraged to say that you didn't start wars, support genocide and dictators. I'm confident that your return will usher in an era of peace and stability in the Middle East, Eastern Europe, and the global majority, collective West, global South, and ensure that Southern Cameroonians are given the opportunity to determine their political future as an inalienable right. Sir, to achieve this, I recommend the following. 1. End conflicts. Stop wars in Palestine and Ukraine. 2. Promote justice and peace in Africa. Stop the wars in Southern Cameroon and deploy your leverages on the government of Cameroon to engage in mediated settlement. 3. Foster global cooperation. Engage in dialogue with Iran, North Korea, Russia, and China. Your leadership, sir, can shape the future of our world, and I'm hopeful that you will make a positive impact. Your victory was largely won by the weight and quality of your campaign promises. I will end the wars in Palestine and Ukraine. God saved your life twice for a big reason, sir. Please keep your solemn promise and end the wars. Sincerely, Abdulkarim. So that's one of his letters. This one was for President-elect Donald Trump, talking about ending the wars, trying to make sure that all those wars along the years are ended, and especially the war in Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia. We have a letter, a press release by the interim government. This letter has been sent by President of the interim government, Chris Ano, where we have this chief or Fon Richard Muntong, the third of Nse Ngoketunja. It reads, to His Royal Highness Fon Richard Muntong the third of Nse Ngoketunja. The letter is written as follows. We express our deep disappointment and astonishment at your press release number 04. Your words reveal either a troubling ignorance of the history and the plight of the people of Southern Cameroon, or a deliberate alignment with the colonial oppressor. By describing our valiant and courageous fighters as so-called Amber Boys and demanding they surrender to DDR Center, you echo the language of those who have sought to crush our quest for freedom. The arms they bear are not for terror, but to resist decades of subjugation, annexation, and the erasure of our identity by French Cameroon. They fight because they refuse to be enslaved in their own homeland. They fight for justice, freedom, and the independence of Southern Cameroons. Will you remain silent if a neighboring village invade Nse, desecrated its tradition, and kill its people? Will you bow to invaders who desecrate your land and rob your future? Why then do you ask your children to accept these atrocities from French Cameroon? Colonialism thrives on violence, deception, and theft. French Cameroon exemplifies this, refusing all calls for negotiation while advancing his brutal agenda. Yet you choose to threaten your own children instead of calling out the true oppressor. If you stand for peace and justice, demand that French Cameroon cease its violence. We urge you to listen to your children, not threaten them. History shows that no people have begged their way to freedom. They have fought and won it. The Southern Cameroon will not be an exception. Your Highness, history will judge those who side with the oppressor against their own people. Stand with justice, for justice always prevails. Signed, Comrade Chris Ano, President of the interim government of Ambazonia. So that is the press release sent by the interim government to the Royal Highness Fon Richard Muntong III of Nse village of Ngoketunja. His letter was to asking he wrote a message saying that he asked all the restoration freedom fighters to surrender by the 30th of December or be sent to, that they should go and surrender in the DDR Center. But when you look at the peripheral or the integrity of these funds and chief, we start questioning somebody who is on the payroll of La Republic of Cameroon. What do you expect? We understand some of them are being forced to come out with all these communiques. Okay, some of them will be threatened to do all this kind of communiques, that the Ambazonian restoration fighters should go and drop their arms in DDR Center. Look at the history of DDR Center. All those guys who went to DDR Center, some have abandoned it and ran to Nigeria. Some were promised big positions and so on and so forth. Some were promised all the fake promises. We tend to ask our fellow funds and chiefs, the custodians of the community. These people are people who used to be respected. But look at the level that these Royal Highnesses are gone. One army man will just come and tell you that, go and say this thing, you just go and be saying it. A deal will just come and tell you that, hey, go and be saying this, go and say this. You don't know that the people's voice is very strong. The community is what is the bedrock of a strong Royal Highnesses. Your people are the backbone of your leadership. You can go and side with the oppressor thinking that you are doing well, But you are failing the people. The last thing any fawn or chief should do is to side with the oppressor on their people. Because history will not forget you for siding with the oppressor. Take note, anything you do today, it only goes to the files and annals of history. Remember, the people's voice is the last voice. No matter what you do against them, you can curse, you can do all what your ancestral worship you want to do, it will not work. Some few paid fawns and chiefs have done that before. It doesn't go against the people. The people's wish are more stronger. It's just like election. When the majority wins, majority wins the vote. The minority have to follow the majority. So you cannot use your witchcraft on majority and it work. Go and pour all libation you want, all witchcraft spirit you want. It will not work on the majority of the people that want their independence. That is it. So you should take note that whatever you're doing in your palaces as fawns and chief, your people comes first. Your people are the bedrock of your leadership. Because anything you are doing, siding with the enemy, doing things that are not even in line with what the people want, then you are going against the wish of the people. And your leadership will be questioned. Because we have seen a lot of fawns and chiefs that have been appointed by the SDOs of the CPGM SDOs. And we understand. But the strength of your leadership comes from the community, not from the government that is telling you to do all these things. The fawn Richard Muntong III of Nse Ngoketunja. Your people are watching you. They are listening to what you're doing. But like the interim government just wrote, please stay out of politics. Stay out of what will make you go out of your leadership as a person. A word to a wise is enough. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We wish all those who are incarcerated, illegally incarcerated in the dungeons of La Republic, we wish them justice, because that's only justice for them and justice for the people of Ambazonia. It's the only thing we are looking at. Okay, no matter how long it takes. That's why I always say the difference between a politician, a journalist, and an activist is that all three are people who are fighting for something. But an activist, you will never make him change his mind. An example of activism are people like Kwame Nkrumah, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King Jr. Those are people who stood their ground. They jailed them, they arrested them, they do all what they can to all these people. They said no. That's why I say, if you want to be part of this struggle, have the mindset of an activist. Believe in what you are doing. That's activism. Activism is, it's not following leaders. You don't follow leaders. You follow what you believe is that will free your people. That's activism. Nelson Mandela was jailed for 27 years. He came out from prison and became the president of South Africa. He believed in what he believed. He could not change his belief. Money cannot buy your belief. Money should not buy anything that you think of. If you compromise your belief, you will never be, you don't have any belief. Believe in what you know is true. Believe in what you know is the right thing for your people. Let money don't buy your belief. Like we see people like Capo Daniel, all these people going around say, oh, they don't want to be fight anymore, and so on and so forth. We know they are compromised. Those are not people you should believe in. And history will hold them accountable for that. They betrayed their people. Today, the heroes of the world, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King Jr., all these people, Kwame Nkrumah, are people that their knowledge is studied today as books. They study them as books. I used to teach in one university. I was teaching Martin Luther King speeches. The students want to understand the knowledge from these people. But some of you don't understand the difference between that. But I'm just telling you what is, someone like Nijon Frundi is a politician. If Frundi was an activist, he would have stood for the people. But you see politicians today, them Belamukis, all these people going to beg, and he's talking about election. Politicians think about elections. Activists don't think about elections. Activists think about their mission. Even it can take 20 years. That's what they are fighting for. They will not go and be begging for crumbs from one political party to another, moving right from one leader to another. That's not activism. Believe in what that you're looking for. Thank you for watching. God bless you. May God guide the people of Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia, towards a very successful victory. Thank you.
Why,